Recording in 3, 2, 1. Oop, sorry, can't do that. Hi everybody. Where's my hat? Where's my hat? Okay, hi everybody. I'm Cambridge Rory, or Cambridge English Teacher Rory, from studentlanguages.com. And if you want to know how to write a B2 first, that's FCE essay for the Cambridge English First Exam, then keep watching this video and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so if you are watching this video on YouTube, I really recommend clicking the link in the description below to go to my website, because we're going to be downloading some resources from this web page and completing tasks as we go through to help you learn how to write the best FCE essay possible. And the examiners are going to smile when they see you writing this. Felt a bit like Joker in Batman, and smile, smile. Anyway, so open up that page and you will see a table of contents which looks like this. And we're going to be going through some of the key points in this table. This video is actually leading on from my last video, where I went into a lot of detail what the real examiners were saying about example answers, and looking at the criteria that they use to mark them. And I was also giving you some other exercises in that video. That video is for members only to my website, so you would have to become a member to join the site in order to watch that video. But I will put a discount code for you, and then you can access all my videos by becoming a member. Discount code in the description below for you as well. I'm going to go through some of the key points. I will take the most important things from that members only video and tell you about them here. And then we will look at a question, an essay question, typical example question. I will then give you time to complete a plan for your own answer for this question. I will then show you my example plan for this question. I will then show you an answer to the question that one of my students wrote. Then I will give you the opportunity to correct the mistakes in that essay and to complete the examiner's assessment scale. Now that's really important, because that's how examiners are going to mark your writing. And I think the best way for you to learn how to get top marks in the essay is to get into the mind of an examiner. You need to be able to know the information I'm going to teach you well enough that you could teach it yourself to your own students. So we're going to get in the mind of the examiner, and when you do that, you'll get much higher marks in the exam. So you'll have the opportunity to correct the essay and then to mark it like an examiner would. Then you will see my essay corrections and my comments as an examiner. I will then show you quickly the marking scheme for the essay, whether this example is a pass or a fail. I will then show you some useful essay vocabulary, and at the end I will give you a homework task to complete. Let's get started straight away. So here is the quick bit of advice that I gave students in my members only restricted video, which I've made previously. Again, I really recommend watching that because there's a lot of detail. But for now, here's a quick summary of what the examiners are looking for from your essay. And this is from the Handbook for Teachers. So this is the advice that Cambridge themselves give. So they say you will always be asked to write your essay for a teacher. You need to address all the notes in your essay. So in the question, there will be some notes, normally 3, 2 of their own and 1 of your own notes. And you'll need to write about all 3 points, which will mean you'll need 5 paragraphs, because it's important to write an intro, conclusion, note number 1, note number 2, and your own note. 5 paragraphs. Also, your essay will need to be written in an appropriate register and tone, which will typically mean that it needs to be formal and using neutral language, avoiding first-person pronouns and trying to write with more passive constructions is a good way to go. Generally, formal writing in English uses more nouns and fewer verbs. There's a quick tip for you. Okay, so let's dive in and have a look at an example FCE essay question. So Here on my website I have FCE Essay Question 1. It's number 1 because there are loads more on the site. It says Part 1 because the writing paper has 2 parts. This is Part 1. You must answer this question. You have to write an essay in the FCE exam, and they advise you to write between 140 to 190 words. A lot of students ask me, what happens if I write more than this? What happens if I write less than this? Well, if you write more, the examiners will probably assume that you have added in information which actually is not that important. And if you write less, the examiners are probably going to be thinking, he's probably missed an important idea here, or he probably hasn't given enough information. So stick to the word limit if you can. I give loads more tips in my other videos on my website, so make sure you have a look through my FCE writing course. If you want to go to the beginning of the course, I will put a link to that in the description as well. Also, if you have any other questions about the FCE exam, feel free to write a comment below, but I also have a page on my website where I answer the most typical questions that students ask me. Just quickly guys, please give this video a like if you are enjoying it and if you find it useful, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you press the bell notification then you will be notified every time I make a new video for you, which could be really useful if you are preparing for the FCE exam. So thanks for that. Subscribing to my channel will help my channel grow and help more students like you to find my work. Okay, let's carry on. Then, looking at this FCE essay question, 140 to 190 words in an appropriate style, formal, neutral language. Question. You have been discussing environmental topics in a university lecture. Your professor has asked you to write an essay. So this could also similarly be discussing in a school and your teacher has asked you to write an essay. So, write an essay using the notes below and give reasons to support your ideas. Can we solve environmental problems globally? That's the question. And then you have notes, write about science, economics, your own idea. So there's 3 notes, and then we have introduction and conclusion. Okay, so 3 notes, introduction, conclusion, 5 paragraphs. So this is what I'd like you to do now. Go down to where it says write an essay plan, and if you click here, this template, a new page will open, and on this page you will be able to write your plan for the answer. This is what I recommend doing. You can download this page, right click, click Save As, and then you can download it. So I would advise printing it off and writing. So we can cross out all of these ones because we're doing an essay. Okay, then fill in this information. Who is the target reader, etc., etc. You'll need to add paragraph 3 in here because we are doing 3 paragraphs. This template is for general FCE writings, not specifically for an essay, which is why there is no 3rd paragraph. So print this off and complete it based upon this question up here. So have a look at this question, fill in this template, press pause, try to do it in 5 minutes because that's how long I advise to plan for in the exam. 5 minutes. Time yourself, pause this video now, and when you've finished the plan, press play. Okay, so hopefully you've done that, and now what we can do is we can compare your plan with my plan here. Type of writing, hopefully you wrote essay. Target reader, it's really important to identify who is the target reader, and that's why I've added this part into my plan template. Target reader here is a university professor. The target reader is important to know because this will depend what style of writing you use. Depends on who is reading it, who is the target reader. The content, you need to talk about all 3 notes, which, if I remember correctly, what did we have? Science, economics, your own idea. And so what I'm going to do in my essay is write about good and bad points for each note. You don't need to write an essay like that. You could focus all on the bad or all on the good, as long as you are creating a coherent argument. But for this essay, I'm going to write good points and bad points for each note. The language should be formal and neutral, and I want to be using passive constructions and linking words. So by writing this in my plan, when I'm writing, it will make me think, okay, so I need to use a passive construction and a linking word. Keep those in my mind, and they're good ways to get higher marks for an FCE essay. And it's also a good idea to write down some vocabulary. Maybe you've written similar vocabulary to me. I've written pollution, traffic, transport, technology, animals, money, economy, subsidies, finance, financial institutions, big companies, green technology. Those are the types of words that are going to help me when I'm writing this essay to think of ideas. Whew. Okay, I'm getting pretty hot. It's quite hot work making these videos, I tell you. Even in Windsor, in England. Warm in my apartment. Oh yeah, okay. So, this is what you should do now. This is an example essay that one of my students wrote and sent me. If you want to send me one of your essays, I'll put a link in the description showing you how to do that. So my student wrote this essay. And on my website, you can download this sample answer by clicking this button here. So I would download it, save it, print it off, and then once you have it on a sheet of paper, try to find the problems, try to find the mistakes and errors, and correct them. So pause the video now, take as long as you need to do this, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, so hopefully you've done that. And now what I'd like you to do is to go back to my website and to download the examiner's assessment template, which looks like this. So download this, print this off, and write your marks and your comments based on the answer that you just read a few minutes ago. So I want you to complete this assessment scale. If you want some advice about how to do this, then you should watch my other video which shows you how examiners mark an FCE writing. You can also check out the page on my website which goes into this in more detail, and I'll put a link to that again in the description below. Pause this video again, complete this assessment scale, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, so hopefully you've done that, and that exercise will be really useful again in helping you get into the mind of an examiner. And if you are in the mind of an examiner, you know what the examiners are looking for, you will be able to get much higher marks in the exam. So back to my website, let's move down and have a look at my critique of this essay, and you can see if the mistakes that you found are similar to the mistakes that I found, or different. I'm not going to go through all these mistakes for you now. I will make another video where I'm critiquing another essay for you, and that could be really useful. But for now, you can just pause this video, have a read of this page on my website, sample FCE Essay 1, my critique, and see if what I have written is similar to what you have written. See if the mistakes that I have found are similar to the mistakes that you have found. So pause this video now, and when you're ready, press play, and we will have a look at what I said in the comments below. Okay, so hopefully you've done that. Maybe you found some mistakes that that I also found. That's a really good sign if we have found the same mistakes. If not, don't worry, this could be your first time practicing this exercise. So you will improve and get better and better the more examples we do, and there are a lot more examples for you to practice with on this webpage. So let's go down and have a look at the examiner's assessment scale template with my comments. So I've given it a 2 for content, and I'll read this to you. I say most of your content is relevant to the task. There is a strong introduction. That's a good thing. However, not all the notes are addressed in the body of the essay. Okay, so she hasn't written enough. I counted this, and there are actually 47 extra words she could have used before hitting 190 words. So I said that she should have used these extra words to write about the other notes, because it's important to write about all 3 notes in an essay. For communicative achievement, I wrote 3. I said the overall argument is fairly easy to understand, but some of the phrases used aren't specific enough. And you can see what I mean a bit more when you look up at the essay and the comments that I've made in the essay above. I go into a bit more detail on that. I said the main paragraph about profit is developed, but there aren't other paragraphs. So you need to have other paragraphs with the other points and to develop them in the same way as you developed that first main paragraph about profit. For organisation, I've given it a 2. So remember, these are all rated from a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being bad, 5 being good. So 2. Organisation. I didn't think it was clear enough. There weren't clear paragraphs with the main notes being addressed in each one. Okay, and I would advise having a proper read of this. Maybe pause the video now or have a read of it at the end of this video, and you'll get more information why it only has been given 2. Language, 4. So I said the language is good. Okay, and this is why knowing the technique for each part of the exam is so important, because you can be really good with the language, but you can still not pass the exam, because language is only one of the 4 marking criteria for the writing, for example. So even if you get 5 out of 5 for language, if you don't get good marks for organisation, communicative achievement, and content, you're not going to pass. So that's why the technique for each part is really important, and that's what I try to focus on in all of my videos. But as I say, language 4. So the language was quite good. A good variety of words and phrases, for example, new suggestions for alternative means of production. Good phrase. I said more linking words and phrases could be used, and that would maybe push the language up to a 5. But at the moment, I've given it a 4. So that means in total, the student got 2 for content, 3 for communicative achievement, 2 for organisation, and 4 for language, which is 11. 11 out of 20. In the exam, to pass the writing paper, you need to get 24 out of 40, which would mean 12 out of 20 for part 1, 12 out of 20 for part 2. But it depends. Here, she's got 11 out of 20 for part 1, so the student would need to get 13 out of 20 for part 2 in order to pass the writing paper at a B2 level. If you want to know more about how many marks you need to pass the exam, then I've put a document here which you can open, which is from Cambridge, and go to page 4. It explains how many marks you need in more detail. But just so you know, you don't need to pass every exam paper in order to get the B2 first certificate, but you do need to average 60% across all 5 exam papers. Reading, use of English, speaking, listening, writing. The average needs to be above 60 in order to pass the exam at a B2 level. Okay, so good job if you've made it this far through the video. You're going to be helping yourself learn a lot. So good on you, good motivation, keep motivated. That is a very good start to preparing yourself for the exam. You're showing good signs that you're probably going to pass if you stay motivated and work hard like you are right now by watching this video. So, FCE essay vocabulary. Here's some useful vocabulary for you. Introducing an argument. Some people feel that. Many people think that. Others disagree. Other people argue that. One point of view is. There are a few more here for introducing arguments and point of views. So have a read of those. Giving opinions. In my opinion, in contrast to, my personal opinion is that, it is my sincere opinion that. Good language. Finally, some useful linking words and phrases. However, nevertheless, in addition. You can say, firstly, make a point. Secondly, make a point. Thirdly, make a point. That's good to do in an essay. On the one hand, on the other hand. Whereas. So before we finish this video, I want to set you guys some homework, which I've put at the bottom of this page here. I critique another essay and we do the same thing. And then at the bottom of the page, we have homework. So your homework is to write an FCE essay. You can write an essay to the question that we've seen in this video, or you can create your own essay or find another essay from another place. And if you write an essay, and I will put a link in the description below which will show you where to send the essay. Make sure you send it with the question, so I can read the question and the answer, and make sure you tell me that it's a B2 first FCE essay. And if I have time, I will mark it for you and give you feedback. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. Again, it will really be beneficial for you to go to my webpage here, and there's a link in the description below. And this is one page from my FCE writing course. This is a big course, and I go through every part of the FCE exam in this course. So have a look at that webpage, have a look at the site, and good luck with your FCE writing. If you have any questions, feel free to write them below. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's quite a long video, but hopefully it was useful. I will be making more FCE videos, so remember to subscribe and press the bell notification so you can be notified about those new videos. But for now, I'd like to say adios amigos, or ciao, wherever you're from. Goodbye, have a lovely day. I've been Cambridge English teacher Rory from studentlanguages.com. Bye bye.